Alright. So, we are back for another drawing with Levi from Jade Monkey Productions. I'm Levi. And we have been and are going to continue working on the All Skulls coloring book project, where I still have a few skulls to draw for the coloring book. And we're going to be moving on to one of these pre-prepared sketches that I've got right here. Um, so what this is, as I've explained before, um, these are just rough sketches that I've done. This one's a little bit more advanced, more developed than previously. Um, but what I do is drop the opacity on this. I'm not going to be drawing from nothing. I have a bunch of these like rough sketches and stuff that I need to turn into these more finished drawings. So what this is going to be not the rough sketch stage, not the final line stage, but what I like to think of is the actual like drawing stage, where I'm not worried about what I'm drawing or the composition of it, but actually working on the drawing itself. With something like this, and this is always still in a loose methodology here. This is not the final lines; these are not the final decisions for the final drawing. This is just part of this process that where I just go, I just develop. You know, I get to have the freedom of working this however I want to right now. Kind of just going on the fly. But I have a map to follow, and so that investment of this kind of time ends up being more likely to pay off than just absolute free drawing. So here we are, we're drawing a skull. Got a good time skull here. This little vampirical kind of skull. He's gonna be a creepy one. One of the things, as I've done in some of these before, is I'll do just a quick little mirror flip based off of the 1/2 that I draw. You'll see it'll be a little slanted. Always is. You'll see it'll be a little, you need that correction. A lot of this with this part of the process is not, I mean, it's the most unstructured part of my process, I'd say. Which can be, you know, a fairly structured process in itself. Doing really simple rough sketches, doing a whole bunch of those, and then taking one out, moving that into a new file here, and then scaling it up, and then working it up. That's exactly where we are now. And then from there, once I've got it worked up the way I want, change this here. Look how that get that. Then I can go in and do the actual final lines and stuff, and then that'll be for, you know, for print purposes, for final tattoo purposes. Sometimes I take it to that level. A lot of times I'll take it to this level and just kind of explain how it'll be a bit cleaner when I tattoo it. Sometimes I like to kind of imagine like the logic of any kind of battle or attack or something like that. I mean, this doesn't look like a thing that's actually real enough to have been like in a combat kind of thing. But if we, so anyway, yeah. So I hope everybody out there is doing well. I hope everybody is excited and optimistic about life, or trying to find a way to be so. And yeah, haven't watched a lot of media. I mean, mostly, been watching the old school Star Trek. Been watching Voyager, rewatching Voyager. Um, I have been a little bit thinking about the card game that I play, Magic the Gathering. Been working on a few new decks and stuff. I tend to play Commander, pretty casual, kitchen table kind of stuff. Nothing super competitive, nothing super hardcore. I just like to play. I've been playing with the same guys for 20 years, and yeah, they just released Lord of the Rings as one of these universes beyond one of these outside the normal storylines and stuff. The mythos of what Magic the Gathering normally does. But Lord of the Rings has been a pretty good fit. They've done a few others and stuff like Warhammer and stuff like that. But yeah, this Lord of the Rings stuff, it's been pretty cool. Some people are upset about it. Not too worried about that sort of thing. But there is this new legendary creature commander character card that man, I can't even remember the damn character's name. And this isn't a thing, like, I'm not doing like a review or anything, but man, it is some messed up stuff. There's a creature type called slivers that are just annoying as can be, and man, they're just giving that creature type more and more and more good stuff. It just doesn't need it. And yeah, so don't follow me for Magic content. But yeah, it's been it's kind of a fun game. I've been involved in it for a long time. The cards can be valuable. Most of them are not, though. That's how collectibles tend to work. But I've been playing the game for 2 decades or so, and man, I don't think I ever want to stop. I don't think that I'll ever quit the game. I don't care how corporatized it gets, or sell out, or exploitive, trying to milk its customer base, whatever, any of this stuff, that people tend to complain about these kinds of things. The world goes completely sideways. I've still got a whole bunch of these cards that I'll be able to, at least carry around a deck with me during the apocalypse. In between, dodging zombies and trying to survive the alien invasion, maybe I'll find somebody that can be down to play a hand of cards. Who knows? But yeah, there you go. If you're gonna go sideways on your YouTube video, you might as well go completely sideways. Because you gotta watch out, man. That apocalypse is, man, it's never been closer. But, it doesn't mean that everything's doomed. There's always time, We've been through dark ages before. Kind of going through, I don't know, I wouldn't call these days a dark ages, and without getting, say, too specific or political about anything, the dark ages, it was a time of not a lot of like historical data was retained. Like, we know as much about ancient Greece as we do about stuff in the Dark Ages. I guess people don't even like calling it the Dark Ages anymore, but it really, from my understanding, it was called the Dark Ages is because we don't have a lot of information about the time period, and that's an interesting phenomenon. Say, when most of the data from our time period now is like digital, which is so impermanent on the scale of leaving a historical record, for all of time, for historicity and all that sake. In 1,000 years, they're more likely to have more evidence of Egyptians than of what we've posted on the internet, or what's been stored on tape or CD. There's a lot of this media that doesn't last, 100 years, much less, 1,000. And so that's an interesting thing to think about, as far as like how easily it could be possibly to lose all of the accumulated knowledge that humanity has gotten, say, passed over the, what, I'd just say 30 years, 40 years. Maybe that's a good place to kind of let you go here for today, because I think, this one was pretty drawn up pretty well. This is not only, well, it's quite a bit cleaner and stuff. I've got everything figured out here, so it wouldn't be too hard to do a much cleaner version of this. And I'll drop out the shading and stuff. The shading, the filling in black, all that really helps me to see the forms and all of that. With the areas that I would want to be darker, but I generally don't include that in the coloring book art and stuff. But different line thicknesses and stuff, see how like the line's a little bit thicker here than it is over here, and it's the same thing over here. Stuff like that builds subtle volume and depth, so that things feel like they're a little bit more, substantial. But kind of went into a tangent there, I guess, talking about the world outside. I'm not necessarily gonna say that I'm gonna do that a lot or not at all, but I guess from time to time it's gonna happen. But so we've got this, and we're done with it. So I guess we're gonna have to check you guys out later. Thanks again for stopping by and maybe watching my stuff. If you dig it, follow us along, like, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff. It really is important. It does do the algorithm magic and all that. So participate. Thank you, and later.